Hey guys, it's William here, and I want to talk about Wusky Performer PR82 project that was going to be done by last year, but you know the pandemic and everything just stopped and it was very complicated. I was working on Wusik Station 10 and it's 80% ready. I just got stuck with a few things and I'm trying to resolve a few things there with the code, so I decided to start on the Wusky Performer on the side to work in parallel. Like 1 week I work on one project, another week I work on another project. And Wusky Performer, the idea of the product is to be able to loop parts of your music during a live presentation. So like you have the drums, the bass, the synth 1, synth 2, the fill in, fade out, and stuff like that, that you can use a touch screen, or in my case I'm going to be using a tablet, and I'm going to connect the tablet to my computer, so I'm going to see the computer screen on the tablet and have a touch screen that way. And but you can also use a MIDI keyboard or even the keys on the computer to turn things on and off, and everything stays in tempo and syncs up, and it's fully customo. I don't know the word. You can customize the product in order to fill your needs, so you can have as many sound objects or images and stuff like that, and create your own interface there. So it's very handy, and I'm going to show you an alpha version of the product. It's 60% done, more or less. There's some stuff still need to be done, and you can check the description of the video for a link to pre-order. You have a coupon discount there that you can get 90% off for this pre-order. So let's take a look then. So here it is, Wusik PR82, Wusky Performer. And in this case, I'm running the standalone version. Let me check my audio settings here. Okay, it's working correctly. But most situations you are going to be using the plugin version. So you can use this on the host and also add other effects on the output. And I'm going to make a multi-out version. This is a single output, single stereo. And Wusky Performer has two modes, the play mode and edit mode. In the play mode, you are going to be performing and using everything that you added on the edit mode. So let me take a look at edit mode. I already have two objects here. I'm going to reset to start again. So it says click on an empty area to add an object. But the first thing I'm going to show is the back color. This is an important one to change first to whatever you want. But you can also use a back image. So you can, by default, you're going to be going to the data folder, so you can check images, and it's going to have buttons and textures. So I'm going to select textures, brush metal, and I can select the scale. I can select to stretch or not the image to the whole screen, and I also can add a bit of transparency. So 0 is fully opaque, 0.5 is kind of in the middle. You can see it's affecting the grid lines, but that's okay. I have to check if it's that a mistake or whatever. So okay, so I have my background. I'm going to dislabel the grid and snapped grid for now, although the snapped grid is very useful. So this is the main area. You just have the options for the main thing. You can have some templates. So I'm going to create some templates too. And you have 4 screens. The 4 screens are connected, so it's not like you have a sound on screen A and you go to screen B, the sound stops. No, it doesn't. the four screens are in parallel, so they are always running. If you leave something running on the screen A and go to screen B, it's going to still be running there. So there's a flash caller. The flash is going to be the bit flashing for each bit. If you don't want that, you can just put it fully transparent. I'm going to leave it very slight, it's transparent. And then the first bit color can flash a bit harder. And then when a measure starts, it also flashes another color, which is going to leave as a very strong blue. Then you can select the font for everything that's going to show on the screen. And if you're going to use the internal or the external clock, then you have the autoplay audio on load. So when you add an object and loads an audio, it's going to autoplay. And some other things like master volume. And the most important one is the number of measures that your project is going to be using. So for now here I'm setting to 4 measures. So if I click someplace here and select a sound, let me make it a bit larger. Let me put a name, drum loop. Then I scroll down, I can see here load audio. And I have some audio loops by Stereo MCs. So let me load this one. I know it's 4 measures. So it plays the whole thing when you load. You can, of course, stop by clicking on it. But during the edit mode, you just have this option to play and stop, and it's only going to play one object at a time to avoid confusion. You can resize, and there is some advanced options here, but let me show to you what happens when I go to play mode. To go to play mode, I can click here play, or I can close and click play on the main menu, or I can press F5. Now I'm in play mode. So as soon as I click this object, it's going to start the sequencer clock and the sound, and it's going to start looping. Let me lower the volume a bit so I can talk over. But you can see that it's looping and shows the loop position, and it's flashing the colors that I selected. The very big blue is when it starts the measure. But maybe you don't really need that, because you can select a bass sound that is going to stay on the 4 measures, and you know that when it starts again is on the start of the measure. If I click again, it's going to select stop looping, but the sequencer is still going on. If I click again, it's going to queue, so it's going to select it to start looping again and playing when a measure hits the start. So there you go. Now select stop. Okay, so I'm going to press 5 again and go to edit mode. And if I right click, it selects without playing. And I can select some very advanced options here now. I can select where the name is going to be positioning. Like if I want it on the top. Oops, I put too much, I think. Let's see. There is an empty area around the object because of the shadow. So you have to take that in account. Let's put 40. That's very on the top. And you can see that it says use center to auto center, but it's going to auto center the whole thing. So I can leave the drum loop just on the top. Then I have my templates again, which are going to create some very nice templates. I have the border color, the background color. I have the shadow options. So I can make the shadow a bit wider if I want. I can also use a back image. So let's say I want this. And the cut option is going to cut the background image using the roundness that you select below here on the round square. So if unselect cut, it's going to show the square image instead. And as always, stretch is going to stretch the image to the whole area. I can make it a bit transparent if I want. But those are all cosmetic things. I can change the font color, the font size. I can select which screen this button is going to be on. One thing I could add here is to be able to show in all screens. That's another option I'm going to add. So the thickness of the border, if I want to fill the background color or not. Then I have the volume of the sound, if I want to embed it on the project. And soon I'm going to talk about the initial envelope states. I also have these on the options here. Initial envelope, both are high, so both volumes are already on the highest volume possible when it starts. Then I have the groups. The groups is where things get interesting because I can add, let's say, let me duplicate this guy here. So let's say I have drum loop, and then I have drum loop alternative, vertical 30. Oh, sorry. Maybe I'm going to add an option to use the mouse to readjust the font position. I don't know. But the group is very interesting because there's an option here. What is it? Multi in the same group is not selected. So if I add both these guys in the same group, I'm going to name it drums 1. So it's going to play either one or the other. So if drum loop is playing and I select the drum loop alternative to play second, when it starts playing, the other one is going to stop playing. So it plays one or the other. And if I select a multi in the same group, it's going to play both one or the other any way you want. Then the back two is another option that I haven't coded, but the idea is like you have a drum fill. So you select the drum fill and it's going to stop the other drum and it's going to go back to the drum you select in the back two. And of course you have also the plain color, cue color, and cue stop. Right now it's set to font the colors. Usually I like to use cued green and the stops a very strong blue. So if I don't select it to font, let's go to the play here. So it's playing now. Oh, sorry, I was on the wrong guy. This is cue to start. Now it's playing, and now it's cue to stop. Instead of the name, it uses a whole color on top of the thing, a transparent color in this case. Then you have the PC key, MIDI controller, MIDI key, so you can turn on and off like I'm doing with the mouse, using the keys instead. And right now, both play types are set to synced. So it's always going to stop and start when the measure hits 1, the start of the measure. The poly free, if for sounds effects, that's going to play just like a keyboard. So you press 1, it's going to play right away, and you can press many times, it's going to create several voices. And then I'm going to code the instant on time and instant free, and the gate on time and gate free. The instant on time is like you select it, it starts to play right away, but it starts from the position that it should be according to the measure and beat, the position of the loop. if it's free, it's just going to start wherever it is at the start of the sample, and the gate does the same thing, but as soon as you release the mouse button, it's going to stop. So it's just that. The instant stop is like when it starts, if a queue to stop, instead of queuing to stop at the end of the measures, the 4 measures, is just going to stop right away. Now it's queued to start because it's synced, and I click it stops right away. So I'm going to also add an option to use the mouse for the volume, so you can like click and drag up and down for the volume, or you can do a right click or a double click, and it's going to show a fader on the screen that you can adjust at times. So this is going to be great on my tablet, so I can just double click and go instead of using the fader. But the tablet allows dragging, so it's not a problem. The only thing I don't know is if this is going to support multi-touch. So for now, I created another thing that's going to help if, let's say, on my tablet, I can't do multi-touch. I created something that I'm going to show in a minute. Then you have the record option. The record is a whole nother thing, and I haven't even started yet. But the idea is that instead of loading a loop, you can put this in an instrument chain in your DAW, and as you play the instrument, you can loop record it with the PR82. But it's missing here an option of the. Oh no, there is this the source. You are going to create an effect that you can add on other instruments, and you can select which is going to play according to which object you selected. It's a bit harder to explain, but when I have that ready, I can show in action, and it's going to be easier to understand. So for now, those are the two things. And I can also show I have created some images. Where is it? So let's say the background, where's the background? Here, background image. I can use some here of these buttons that I created. Just some button ideas. I'm going to try and make more. But for here I have the 4 type of buttons. Like this could be off, this could be playing, this could be Q to start, Q to stop. I have others 2 here. So let's say this is my button. I'm going to make it stretch. I'm going to remove my border because I don't want the border anymore, because I already have some sort of border here. And then I can come here and select the plain color image. And let's say the plain is going to be the red, the Q is going to be the green, and the blue is going to be the blue. So I'm going to play this. So let me try to change now this. Let me turn off the instant stop. And also I'm going to use the above colors to font. No, that's not all right. Never mind. Let me try again. Okay, so it's playing. Now it's Q to stop. And now it's Q to start again. So you can use images for that. And you can also change the animation. If you don't want the animation to appear, you can just put the alpha, the transparency to 0, and it's not going to show any animation there. There we go. So the next step now is the image label. So let's say I don't want the drum loop there. I want it to be, oops, sorry. There's still some debugging stuff that I added. I want to add, so what did I just add? Image. And there's the action button. Oh, that's the image that I want. Why it's not showing? I think I did something wrong. No, I did something wrong with this. I'm still doing the image thing, but in any case, I can show the image if you want to add something that is like, let's say, like this guy here. It's not showing. Oh, that's the button color. I'm on the wrong guy. Sorry, I got confused. Let me try again. Action boot image label. Now, okay, now it's the image label. That's correct now. Drum loop, font color black, but I don't want the background color, so I'm just going to put transparent and then make this as small as possible and put this on the top here and make the font white. So that way I have a bit more control or of wherever is showing there. So it's just some simple thing. And of course I can also add image instead. So if I add an image here, I can set the background color to none and remove the label. Then I can add my logo or whatever I want. Now for the buttons, action button, and this one is very handy because I have several options for it. Let me put the decay 800 milliseconds so I can see that it's clicking and it's synced, so the button action is going to only happen at the start of measure, but I don't want that. I want to use a panic button. The panic button is going to stop everything and it's going to do a fade out, so fade out rate of 10 milliseconds. But no, I want to try something else. Let's see. I can select the screen here with this button, and I can also select the multi-starter. The multi-starter, what's going to happen? I'm going to click this, and I can click two things, and when I release, or when I click again the button, is going to make the action happen for those things that I selected. So this way, I can select multiple things at the same time and have it happen at the same time. So that's the multi-starter. And I also have the fade in, fade out, send mid nodes, the close application, start stop of a sequencer. The fade in and fade out all is going to use that envelope on the options. So here initial envelope is high. So let's say I put it low and I put the fade rate 3000 milliseconds. So that's 3 seconds. So when I start, you can see that there is no sound, but let me put the volume higher. And I'm going to press the fading. Now it's going to fade in again. But I can choose to fade in and fade out. Fade out flip flop. So it's going to do the like a ping pong flip flop. It's the same thing. So let's fade in, and then I'm going to click again to fade out. So those are just handy things to have, and more can be added later. And you can see that it starts to get very complex. And you can also do this for just one object. So let's say I want to fade in just that drum, not the whole thing. So I can select fade sound. Where's my fade sound? So it's going to ask me the name of the sound. So it's going to be drum loop. Initial fade state low. So now I have to go to the drum loop and also select the initial envelope state to low. So when I start it, it's on a low envelope, and when I click here, it should fade. I don't know what's not working. Let me check again. Initial low fade state low. Okay, state low, fade sound. There's some mistake in here, but the idea is to let's try fade sound flip flop. Yeah, there's some mistake somewhere. And just something for me to fix. Ah, okay, I know. Options. The initial envelope is too low. I have to put it high again. Otherwise, nothing is going to work. Now I can flip flop just this guy. Or not. Ah, come on. Oh, I forgot to put the name of the object. Sorry. So fade sound flip flop drum loop. And here on the options, my initial favorite high. Okay. So okay, since you have a lot of customization, you can get stuck at some points. I'm going to try and add some code to warn the user about that. Like envelope is low, but you don't have any button to uh, turn it up. Is that what you want? Something like that. I have to remember on that. But you can see that it's a lot of stuff that goes on this, and I still need to fix a lot of things. But overall, it's working very well. That I can add other objects. Let's say if I add, let's see here, where is my drum loops? 100. This one is just two measures, so I have to inform the code that here measures default. I'm going to put two measures, so it keeps looping. After it loops the two measures, it's going to loop again, so it doesn't just stops playing. So let's try that. I think I forgot something again. Wait a minute. Two measures, looped volume. Where's the volume? Initial envelope state high. Just a second. Is looped, is synced, is synced. Now let me remove the group because I don't want to use any group. It's not playing. Oh, everything's skewed. I made a mistake again. Well, this is still alpha, so bear with me a bit because I'm still trying to figure out a few things. It's playing correctly in here. There's my group there. I don't know what's not playing. Let me try to close it and open again. Maybe The envelopes got screwed up. No, it's still not playing. Well, something for me to fix. But that's okay. This is alpha. Don't panic. I'm going to fix everything. And I'm going to figure out what is going wrong. They should be starting. For some reason, they are not starting. Probably something silly I did. But that's the overall idea. I hope you get the idea and you like the project. And are going to add a lot of templates to help organize things, and also like templates with any number of objects and stuff like that, so you can start right away. And I think that's it for this video. So thanks for watching.